Oh, didn't they pass us earlier? Are you okay? Did you get hurt? That could have gone better. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Go on. You just focus on finding some blood beads, all right? That girl is waiting for you.
Hello everyone, we are back. More Code Vein.
Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Go on. You just focus on finding some blood beads, all right? That girl is waiting for you.
Well, if you say so, Oliver. Well, it has been quite a while, and for those of you who saw this earlier, I also put the video, but then like halfway through it, the audio cut out, so I had to delete it. Now I'm re-recording this again. Anyways, see our man Oliver in the intro. Didn't get pushed in, but he got his mass destroyed, so since we had to abandon him and leave him here. So for this small portion of this the game, you're gonna have to fly solo, and it can be done. I just don't recommend you do it on your first playthrough. Maybe on a subsequent playthrough if you want to, but right now, no. Anyways, go X to backstab an enemy, and you'll want to do this exceedingly often on the bigger enemies. One, mainly because they just have way more hyper armor, and as you can see, when a fully charged heavy attack did not stop him from trying to go for my face. So you have to, I would say, rely on backstabs and parries. Back attacks and parries. So going back to what I said about flying on this game solo, you really don't want to do that on your first playthrough. They kind of throw it at you with this small section right here where you do have to fly solo for yourself, and you just want to be careful. Go down here. I'm trying to find some. I don't have any. I don't have any daggers on me, so I can't, as you see with those enemies out there, make them drop down one at a time instead of trying to ambush me. But another way to just deal with those attacks is just to roll past them. Anyways, the slimes, not tough enemies, at least, well, because they're early game, but they're not that hard. They can be difficult, mainly because they inflict status conditions on you. These purple slimes, as you saw earlier, they spit poison, and thus they can poison you. Shiny? Oh, there were the daggers I was trying to look through my inventory for. Anyways, poison is one of the worst stats in this game. Mainly due to the fact that, well, it's poison and it takes away your health slowly. I switched to the bayonet. It's an okay weapon. Picked up in the wake. But as you can see, for picking off enemies, it does do more damage, but I would suggest just using the knife. Because the knife travels farther, it's faster, and I got my parry. Knife travels farther, it's faster, and you can carry way more because you are very limited in the amount of I-core you can have. As you can see, the gun takes one I-core shot, and if you fully charge it, it takes up 2. And there's an awake. Awakes are items you want to use if you don't feel like, you know what, I don't want to grind out for these skills, which you would do, as you saw in the previous episode, you would grind out the skill abilities for the characters. But awakes are like, you know what, I want to skip that. You can do that, but I don't recommend doing it, because if you use an awake to try to gain the abilities, you need a certain amount. I believe it can range from 7 all the way to like 12. I didn't want to heal, but and it also requires a large amount of haze. The amount of haze that it can range from can be small. I don't know how I did that. See, I'm trying to do it again. What I think I did right there is a plunge attack. I don't know. Yeah, I did it again. I don't know how I do that. Anyways, coming up, you want to be careful because, yeah, ambush. I'll tell this straight out. You get ambushed quite frequently in this game. I would say you're getting ambushed at least 1 to 2 times per area. Sometimes it can go up to 3, 4, 5. Especially some of the later areas. It gets quite annoying. Anyways, backstab, and here's the special animation I was talking about. Keeping on for, I guess, this playthrough. The mask comes up, you stab it in the back. It's an okay animation. It's obviously the starting one. And since I have the veil off, it can be quite weird at times for some of the other animations. And you saw we just picked up a regeneration factor. That, and along with the other one, I don't remember its name at the time, can increase the amount of health you get per regeneration and the amount of times you can use it. I believe at maximum, when you max all it out, it becomes 12 or somewhere along those lines. And I believe, mini spoiler right here, that there's a gift late game that increases it up to 15, I believe. We'll ignore that enemy for right now because I believe it's better to have a partner to do it. And level up, you can level up by resting at the missile. You can increase your HP, your stamina, your attack, and your gift powers. You can do that for each time you level up. It's basically like original Dark Souls, where you go to the bonfire and just level it up. At the time, like, you could kindle your assist, stuff like that. I haven't played it, but yeah. Local penance. Those are something you'll need in addition to the old world materials that we had earlier on. They don't give you the best items in the game, but I would say that there's some of the better items to use. As you can see, there's a man out in the distance. Do not attack him because I believe it's pointless anyway, so I don't think you can. Anyways, you'll want to walk up to him and talk to him.
Explorer? It appears you're alone.
For
I'm
now.
on my own at the moment too. I was hoping for a partner for the path ahead. What do you say? Would you mind working together? At least until we're through here?
You know what?
Don't worry. I'm not gonna stab you in the back. My
Rude.
husband and the Lost here are enough trouble as it is.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I'm
Yeah,
glad to work
here's-
with you.
As you can see, the Revenant Stranger offers to give you assistance. I have to say you should just take, because I never refused taking the assistance. Anyways, you want to head back up here, and we're gonna go take on this enemy over here. You can see that there's my miasma root attached to this enemy, and I would say you want. Well, you would fight him, but in this case, he fell off the edge. So we'll take what he's guarding and Queenslayer Thorn. I'll show it off right now because the design is actually one of my favorites. Well, not the design, it's more or less the drain attack, the animation, the parry, whatever you get. And I'll put it on here because it has a pierce type attack. And I'll show it off. I'll go into the menus right here, go into game, and see right there? Yeah, I know it's great. It's great. I'll probably just keep those off for unless I find something that unless I'm showing off a new one I get, just to show what you guys look like and stuff like that. Anyways, the enemy you saw down that fell off the edge. It's one of the enemies that have I guess miasma root stuck to them, and the parry move for that one's a stinger. The enemy has a miasma root stuck to them, and you'll have to kill them in order to map out the area to get it to like 100%. It's not necessary, it just makes going through the area much easier because they'll respawn later, just without the miasma root. Anyways, going back to what I said about partners.
I won't take long.
Yeah, partners, you get more than one. You can complete this game solo if you're like Democracy or her pride. No disrespect to the man, but you can do it solo. He has way more guts than me when it comes to doing it in this game because he went on and completed the game solo. I'm just saying, like, if you want to have a more enjoyable time, you go with a partner. And I believe you can go with a third one, but that person has to be a player. So you have an AI partner and then a real life person helping you out. And backstab. And here's one of my favorite animations in the game. Basically, you want to turn into Scorpion. From Spider-Man, grow a scorpion tail, you pierce your enemies. That actually is my second favorite animation behind one other one, which I will show off before I guess I get one of the better one of the better blood veils. And as you can see, going back to the enemies, you saw it's just very easy to get ambushed them, but like I said earlier, you're also gonna get ambushed. Back to the whole partner thing, again, sorry for going off on tangent. It's better just to, on your first playthrough, always have a partner. Anyways, you're gonna activate the blood spring, and this animation always, I guess, kind of bothers me now that I look at it. You see that they do like clench their fist, and the blood drops out, and they always do that. They never show like. I'm assuming they're just clenching their fist so hard that they cause blood to seep out, and your characters can activate the blood springs with their blood, and you see, grows up a blood bead. Get that? There you go. And we're off to the races with that. I just found the animation a little weird because they never, like, you know, cut their palm open a little, carry a knife, and they just crush their hand. They clench their fist so hard that they bleed. And anyways, we found our blood bead. Now it's time to go get that arrogant revenant and go on and try to save our friend, the one who rescued us. Sorry about that. There was a little cutout earlier.
Forget it. We'll talk later.
The game has become sentient. Basically, there was an accident. I thought my game wasn't recording anything at the moment, and it turns out it was, and it just didn't tell me. So I kind of had to crop together the footage. So, and it's not the best because I'm doing this off the Xbox, but you see, it's decent at least. Anyways, we're gonna continue going to this area. You'll want to look up here and try to get this enemy to fall. And bam, and just go ham on him, just smash X really. And there you go. The reason you want to do that is because there's an iron right here, venom cartridge, that he'll ambush you after you take. And coming up right here, and yeah, like I say, how you say, there's not really ambushes, but like the enemies are just like, I guess, dormant, as Oliver said earlier. Like they're dormant, and then they'll try to attack you at times. Anyways, run up. More Ichor concentrate, get your more Ichor, Mana in case you ran out. And I'll probably show this off later, but when you run out of Ichor, when you have a bayonet, you actually can't shoot anything. Like, you'll do the animation, but nothing will come out. Anyways, you want to run forward, then a backstab, and this animation, I like it. Again, it's like second only to another animation I like. Anyways, you'll want to, like, this game can be difficult on your first run through because you're not used to anything coming your way. Anyways, switch to bayonet, and bam. Like I said, it does way more damage than the knife, and if you charge it, it takes up 2 shots, but it becomes like spread shot. You see? Spread shot. And yeah, each hit counts for individual damage. I guess like a reference could be Soul Mass, Dark Beat. Anyways, you want to turn around and just go up this corner, and you can see that basically when we're coming up on this area, you could see that we're almost done, 83%. That means that there's only like one more miasma root that we basically have to purify, grab this item, another awake. One more miasma root that we have to purify, and we're basically done with this whole area. I don't believe you get any achievement for clearing out the whole area. It just makes navigating it easier. Anyways, there it is. Usually when you come to the end of an area, there is a boss. Like, I think that's most kind of obvious. But, anyways, we're trying to head back. Ooh, excuse me. Trying to head back up. You see light. And, oh, it looks like that area in that cutscene from the previous episode. But, who's that in the distance?
It's light from the surface.
You don't see anything, but, you might want to buff just in case. Because, surprisingly, this is going to be our first boss fight. As you see, all the other revenants we fought that we saw earlier. The hammer looks familiar. Ugh. As you can see, it's over.
Once someone is lost, they can never come back. Cast
And
aside your doubt.
the Revenant Stranger is right. In order to save the girl in white, you have to strike down Oliver, who has lost his mind at this point. And thus, this begins the first proper boss battle within the game. Your first boss is Oliver Collins, the man who helped you in the very early stages of this level, of this area. And you will see why I say you want to play basically with a partner. It becomes very easy to decimate certain bosses, especially Oliver, because since he's an early game boss, he doesn't do a whole bunch. So you could dodge all his attacks easily because they're super slow. You don't really, but except for that, his transformation into a bigger loss. Sad thing is, this becomes a generic enemy later on in the game, and not even that far later on. It becomes like a very obvious enemy. And you'll see why I say this is easier with a co-op partner, because look at it. They have way more health, but they also take way less damage, but we're also level 1, and with the buff, so you can just do this. And you saw with like the animation area when I got knocked back, by basically like that. The screen didn't go red, that's because I turned that off. And there we go, Raider lost his purse. Whenever you defeat a boss in this game, you do get the weapon right away. Like, you don't have to defeat another boss, come in and do all the transposing and all that. So I think that's one thing that this game does better. They just give you the boss weapon right away. But you may just not have the stat requirements to meet it, to wield it at the time.
She's alright.
Mm-hmm. She's
By the way,
fine.
both of you,
All revenants must pay a levy.
Hmm.
There are no exceptions.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Stitch. Best to stay away from those stones. Anyone who touches them is defiled, transformed into the lost. Don't listen to their whispers.
I shouldn't.
Someone has to be sacrificed. Without blood beads, we won't make it.
Uh-oh.
Once she's settled down, let's get out of here.
Yeah, he says that. We're going to, sorry for the abrupt cut, but we're going to immediately ignore him, and we're going to have to touch it. But first, you want to talk to
I hear a voice.
Girl Light, and you'll go talk to the Revenant Stranger.
I'll keep watch. Go and see if she's alright.
But you do have to pick up the message. You can't leave this area because of the fogwell. So, for story reasons, you do have to pick it up. And it's because it's the only way to progress through with the story.
Wait, what are you... Let go! It'll swallow you up!
It's all right. You can do it.
And you see the power is flowing through, your eye changes color to blue in this case. As you basically, I guess, calm down the power of the message, which allows you to absorb it.
What the hell?
And thus this leads to probably my favorite, one of the best parts in the game in my opinion. Every time you get, not every time you get a message, but when you get enough of them, we'll get into it in the next part, but you'll see, you'll experience something like this. And this is by far one of the best tracks in the game in my opinion. You'll enter this, I guess, the game, you guys enter this memory as you saw with the vestige. Like you heard voices of the character, and you get this amazing track.
Just this once. We won't make it if you take them.
All revenants must pay a levy of blood beads. There are no exceptions. Sorry.
You get something like this. You see the memories of the character in hand, and most of the time it is drastically depressing.
Someone has to be sacrificed. Without blood beads, we won't make it.
and that's why like there's a meme surrounding this game when it came out, and that kind of persists right now. Is that what is the hardest boss of this game? And a meme that comes up is that the hardest boss of this game is the fields.
Few humans that remain are under Silver's control. Thus, forced to hunt for blood beads or face death. Even if some revenants must be sacrificed for our survival.
The reason why is you see the memories of the character, usually their final moments or some points in their life, and you get the track Memory of the Lost, which is playing right now.
I guess you reap what you sow, right?
It's just so sad. I'm not even joking.
Is that
Like for some of these, like
at least one of us makes it?
like for some of these, like you get on the verge of tears at sometimes for some of these characters, especially like person like Oliver, who just wants to survive, and you see that and like you're like, damn, you get this because this is an apocalypse or post-apocalyptic world,
Is a memory.
at least this area.
It's a place where lost recollections still wander. Come, let's move on. If you use that stairway, I believe it should take us back to the world outside this memory.
Yeah, like you get basically anyone who's near you gets close and absorbed into you when you go to do this, but this rarely happens.
There's no way.
Like you'll have other people in here, it'll just usually be you. And yeah, every lost you killed up to this point was a person at one point, and they got transformed into these monsters. So I guess I'll leave it here for you guys, and I'll catch you guys later.
What the hell was that?
It was a memory, carved into that vestige by the one who left it behind.
I didn't expect that I'd get dragged into it too.
We both melted into you.
I can't believe this. What a power. Come with me. I know a spot where we can rest. I'm Louis. I'm researching blood beads. Nice to meet you.